Well, it's time to call out Spectrum News. New York One again. Not covering the stories that matters to us. And a lot of subway crime has happened since the stabbing that took place at Penn Station last weekend. And I will show a brief video in just a second regarding an update to that stabbing over the weekend. But yeah, a lot's happened. There were two notable fires in Manhattan yesterday, and one just broke about a couple minutes ago on Firewire, and I'll quickly show the report in just a second. But, you know, time and time again, this TV station just keeps ignoring us, and we're sick and tired of it. I mean, I'm not going to downplay Malcolm X's daughter dead, and that's a very unfortunate story. You know, I mean, Malcolm X made news because his supposed killers were found not guilty last week of the crime they committed in 1965. I don't want to get into that because, you know, Hawk Newsom may be watching my videos, and I don't need BLM all over my case. But, changing the subject, we're going to get into crime. And, should be discussed. You know, everyone somehow, someway becomes the victim of a crime. I mean, I will admit, I've been the victim of a robbery once. Right? So, I'm not going to say how I got robbed, but I have been robbed once in Manhattan. So, going to get into the update regarding that stabbing. And, somebody very important made the news last night, and you may be wondering, who importance made the news? You're going to see that in just a second.
We need answers. A man died. You know, this is very...
I am so sorry. Let me make the volume a little bit louder. Oh, okay, yeah, the volume is loud enough.
We need answers. A man died. You know, this is very, very devastating.
Charlton D'Souza is with Passengers United, a group that advocates for subway riders. He wants to see more police officers and social workers in the public transit system.
How many more have to die before our governor, mayor, our elected officials, they step up to the plate and they help us? Because, you know, we need help down here.
On Sunday, police say a 32-year-old subway rider was stabbed to death.
So there you go. Charlton made the news. And this speaker, who was part of our group, I forget her name right now, she also made Channel 7 last night.
I do feel that there is a danger in the subway system.
Police say the suspect is...
Yeah, I forget who this lady is, but, again, I know she made Channel 7 last night. And she was part of one of the previous rallies before. But she does good work for the group. And I'll give her credit on that. So again, Charlton making headlines on Channel 5 last night. I mean, that's a big deal. Considering that, again, we're just getting ignored by New York One. And you want more proof? Okay, let's get some more proof. Channel 7 actually let off with this last night. Let's watch this video. It's only about 20 seconds.
7-year-old man is recovering after being stabbed during an attempted robbery that went down in Midtown. The victim told police 2 men came up to him around 2 this morning on East 42nd Street, and then he was just stabbed in the stomach, cut in the right hand. The victim was able to run away, flag down an MTA police officer near Grand Central Terminal. No arrests have been made.
So there you go. More subway crime that New York One just keeps completely ignoring. Alright. I mean, thank goodness this didn't happen during broad daylight. But you know what's going on here. You know what's going on here. 2 more incidents we got. Let's read this. Creep wanted for sexually assaulting and robbing a woman on a train platform in Midtown. Cops are looking for a thief who sexually assaulted a woman on a Midtown subway platform. According to police at 4 a.m. yesterday on Monday, November 22nd, a 23-year-old woman was on the F train platform at 34th Street Herald Square subway station when an unknown man approached her, put her in a headlock, and threw her to the ground. When the victim was on the ground, the suspect touched her private area before fleeing the scene with her purse. The victim was taken to Lenox Hill Hospital in stable condition. So, there is surveillance footage, and we're going to see if we can give you a description of what the suspect was last wearing. So, according to this video, hang on here. Suspect's also wanted for van evasion. Okay, so let's see. They don't bring this up in the article. Okay, so let's give you a description. Suspect is male, black, approximately 6 foot tall, fat build, possibly weighing about 250 pounds. Last seen wearing a blue coat, wearing a white face mask, shaved head, black pants, and gray sneakers. So, yep, no description of the suspect. You know, New York, you know, everybody's so afraid of being politically correct. And again, I'm sure Hawk Newsom was watching my videos. Right? He knows I've had ties with Curtis Lewa and Vicky Palladino. Okay, let's see what else we got. There was another one. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. Cops see creep who exposed himself on an East Harlem subway platform. This happened on Sunday. Cops are looking for a creep who exposed his genitals to a teenager at an East Harlem subway station. According to police, at 6:05 p.m. on November 21st, a 17-year-old teenage girl was waiting for a northbound 6 train at the 110th Street Lexington Avenue station when she saw the unknown man on the platform with his penis exposed. Sorry for being graphic, but this is what's going on in my city right now. The suspect asked for the victim to come over to him. But when the train arrived, the suspect boarded and the victim stayed on the platform to wait for the next train. So I will say, this girl was very smart. I'm going to give her credit. I'm glad she let the guy get away, because the last thing you need is a violent confrontation, which could have been much worse. The victim later arrived at the 125th Street subway station and saw the same man standing on the platform. The suspect again saw the victim and gestured for her to come over to him, but the victim took a photo of him on her cell phone and left the station without any further interaction with the suspect. So I hope this girl was discreet. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Alright, good. So at least we have a description of the suspect. So let's read it. Suspect is described as a man in his mid-30s with a dark complexion and a slim build, black hair and an afro with facial hair, standing 6 feet 2 inches and weighing around 190 pounds. He was last seen wearing a maroon hooded sweatshirt, a blue baseball hat, red sweatpants, and white sneakers. So here's a good look. Here's a good look. Yep. Again, this is my city right now, and you know who I'm going to call out next. You know who I'm going to call out next before we get to the fire stuff. Because you know what's coming. You know I'm going to call him out. You know I'm going to call him out. Yep. Eric Adams. This is what you have to deal with when you become mayor in January. You need to stop the crime from happening. Okay, I'm sorry for showing his picture, but it had to be done. Because I'm so frustrated with NY1. Okay? And again, I'm glad Eric Adams is saying the right things right now, but I'm hoping his words aren't what it is, and he actually does the actions that we need to stay safe. Alright, so let's get to the 2 fires, and then we're going to do a quick update regarding the vandalism that took place in Ridgewood over the weekend before I wrap up this video. Okay, so here we go. 7 people injured at a hotel fire in Midtown. So, New York won't ignore this. 7 people were injured Monday morning in a fire that broke out in an under-construction hotel in Midtown. The blaze was first reported around 10:22 a.m. on the 10th floor of 145 West 47th Street, the site of the future Hotel Ryu Manhattan Plaza Times Square. The building was almost near completion and was expected to be done sometime in 2022. About 78 firefighters worked to contain the fire, managing to get it under control by 11:18 a.m. an FDNY spokesperson said. The 7 people injured in the fire were all civilians. 5 were hospitalized with unspecified injuries, while 2 were treated at the scene. Photos showed smoke filling the air in surrounding blocks of Midtown, including as far away as New Jersey. Traffic in the area was predictably backed up with up to 2 lanes blocked on 6th Avenue, according to WCBS TV. So they actually show a map of where this is. Okay. So yeah, I know exactly where this is. This is right by the Olive Garden in Times Square. So I know exactly where this is. Yep. There's a picture of what the smoke looked like, but I think we can get more pictures. Let's see. Do we have any more? The article suggests that there were pictures. Let's see. So this is from Twitter user Matt Jew House. Let's just see if he has any other... Oh, okay, here we go. So this is what Citizen App had. Let's see if we can pull this up. Yeah, very scary. And again, mind you, NY1 could have been covering this. Very scary. Very, very scary. Now, again, they're saying that this was seen as far as New Jersey. So let's see. Let's see. So according to Alex Reprin, he's a reporter for Politico. He says that this is what the fire looked like yesterday near the News Corp building. And then, according to this user, he claimed that the fire was visible from New Jersey. So, thank goodness for Patch. I mean, we actually have more pictures from Twitter. So let's just get to the breaking fire news before we get to the other fire in Manhattan that happened, I believe this was, yeah, the Upper West Side. Okay, I want to make sure I got that one right. So this is just breaking. This just came in over the wires about 15 minutes ago. NY1's likely going to ignore this, and maybe even News 12 Brooklyn. So this appears to be Coney Island. I can tell this is Surf Avenue. Fire in the 6th floor on a 9-story building. So let's just take a look at this address. Might not be too far from where Stillwell is. Not what I had in mind. Let's see. Yep. Like I figured. Not too far from where Stillwell Avenue is. This is Coney Island. Okay, so let's get to the last fire story. No injuries reported after fire breaks out in a 5-story Upper West Side building. No one was injured after a fire broke out in an Upper West Side building on November 22nd. According to the FDNY, firefighters responded to a call at 3:38 p.m. yesterday, November 22nd, regarding a fire at 119 West 106th Street. A 5-story building, 12 units with 60 FDNY and EMS personnel were deployed to the scene. The fire was brought to control less than an hour later. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. The cause of the fire is under investigation, so... Very scary that, again, this is all happening, and mind you, NY1 not covering it. Let's just take a look at this address. So it appears to be right by Columbus and Amsterdam. Okay, so I know exactly where this is. I will give NY1 credit on one thing, though. We'll give them credit on one thing. They spent about 2 minutes covering the vandalism that happened in Ridgewood over the weekend. So we're going to read from the Queen's Courier, because we're not going to watch NY1. Police arrested 5 individuals on the night of Friday, November 19th, after alleged extremists reacted to the verdict of the high-profile Kyle Rittenhouse trial wreaked havoc in Middle Village. On Friday afternoon, a jury in Kenosha, Wisconsin found Mr. Rittenhouse not guilty of homicide, attempted homicide, and other charges relating to the 2020 shootings. The acquittal sparked national debate and unrest as protests erupted through the country. Last night, Mr. Rittenhouse was featured in a Fox News interview with host Tucker Carlson, reacting to his own verdict. According to the NYPD, 40 to 50 people gathered in Crowley Park in Elmhurst, going town to town, destroying property and wreaking havoc. Law enforcement sources said that around 8:30 p.m. Friday, officers observed a group of people marching through Middle Village, screaming and throwing garbage cans into the path of police vehicles to prevent officers from following them. The group also ran up to several houses to remove American flags, break mailboxes, and damage multiple parked cars. Councilman Robert Holden said rioters targeted his district for its support of police. Councilman Holden said, "I voted against defunding the police in the city council last year, unlike many of my colleagues. I saw what was going to happen if we did that, and it has happened. If my community is going to be targeted, we're going to fight back." So, I know Rob Holden very well. So he's part of the James Gennaro type centrist view of the city council. So that's good news at least. And again, I know James Gennaro does not want to defund the police. So he has openly said that. Holden said that any mention of these aggravators referred to as protesters as inaccurate. Councilman Holden said, "Don't call them protesters, they were rioters. They didn't chant, they didn't have signs, they were just coming into our community, all dressed in black, only showing their eyes and breaking things, throwing things, stopping on cars." The 5 men arrested on Friday were from Brooklyn and New Jersey, according to the NYPD 114th Precinct. Charges include, 104th Precinct, 114th Astoria. Charges include reckless endangerment of property, unlawful assembly, and criminal possession of a weapon. And according to the 104th Precinct, officers confiscated a hatchet, axe spray, and spray paint. All 5 rioters received orders to appear in New York City criminal court for arraignment. So, this happened in Queens. I don't know why they're not being arraigned in Kew Gardens. I don't know why, but okay. Mayor-elect Eric Adams came to stand with other local officials in Middle Village for a press conference the next day to support the neighborhood targeted the night before. The mayor-elect said, "I was deeply disturbed and angry over what happened. It is one thing to protest an elected official's office. It's one thing to come to a hearing and voice your concern. But to come to a neighborhood and openly destroy property, be disruptive, that is unacceptable in our city. We are not going to allow this to happen, and we are going to send a clear message." So, even though Eric Adams was partying in the Caribbean 2 weeks ago, again, I really hope the mayor's actions when he takes office in January really means a lot, because a lot's going to be on Eric Adams' hands. That's for sure. Holden criticized Mayor Bill de Blasio in his remarks Saturday and also tweeted about his statement, saying it fueled the fire. Councilman Holden said, "Our lamest of ducks mayor apparently thinks he knows better than this jury in the case. This is no time for dangerous rhetoric that might stir up civil unrest in our city, just to try to help its quixotic run for governor." Oh boy, this meant to say his. And then of course Mayor de Blasio replied saying, "This verdict is disgusting and sends a horrible message to this country. Where's the justice in this?" So, a lot of divide, and again, a trial that made headlines in Wisconsin made headlines in Queens for the wrong reasons. Just very disturbing. Hang on here. I think this is breaking. Oh, we have a breaking news story that NY1 may not cover. This is good news for the Auburndale community. This is just breaking. I was just about to wrap up the video, but we have breaking news. Controversial Cloud Tequila Grill near Osnum Hall in Auburndale gets its liquor license suspended. So thank you, John Liu. I will give him credit for one good thing at least. Thank you. So this is a huge win for the Auburndale community. This is a huge win for the residents at Oslam Hall. This is truly a great day for that area. So let's read the breaking news story. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is a temporary suspension. Okay. So this is not permanent. But that's some good news in the meantime. So let's hope this that this gets taken care of. And you know, I am going to call Community Board 11 as soon as I'm done with this video, because I'm going to let them know that the drag racers on Northern Boulevard, you know, they've been waking up the residents at night. So yeah. So I'm going to wrap up this video. So I am going to just say that again, New York 1, you are really full of it. And you know you're going to keep getting called out because this is enough. This is enough. Okay? Done here. Done with your antics. I know Pine Power Ally did another video about News 12. So that's why I made my own video about New York City. And again, you know I'm going to keep calling you out, New York 1, till you get your act together. Thank you all very much for watching. And until the next one, please take care.